So in the previous class we had discussed about what are acids and bases, how we will identify them. I had told you acids are sour in taste, bases are slippery to touch and bitter to taste. But this is not the method of detecting an acid or base. This is not a good method. We know that acids are sour in taste and bases are bitter in taste, but this is not a good method to detect, because we should never taste any chemical substance. So to detect acid and bases, there are different chemical methods are there, but one of the good method is the use of an indicator to detect whether a substance is acid or base, because every substance, all the chemical things, we can't taste it. So there are different methods. So one method is use of indicator. So now we will see what is indicator. So an indicator is a substance which gives different colors in acid and alkali solutions. So it gives different colors in acidic solution and in basic solution or alkali solution. So most common indicator that is which is used to detect acid and base, that is called litmus paper. So this is the most common indicator. Litmus is a chemical substance which is extracted from the lichens. So litmus paper, these are extracted from the lichens. These are the most common indicator used to detect acid and bases. So it is used as a solution in water, or it is coated on a paper which is called litmus paper. So this litmus or chemical substance which is extracted from the lichens, this is coated on a paper, or it is used as a solution in water, and then it is known as litmus paper. So litmus has red color in acidic solution and blue color in basic solution. So we can say that an acid turns blue litmus to red and an alkali turns red litmus to blue. So the litmus has red color in acidic and blue color in basic. So for acidic, red color, for basic, blue color, or we can say that an acid turns blue litmus to red and an alkali turns red litmus to blue. So another common indicator that is used in the lab, that is phenolphthalein indicator. So it shows pink color in alkali solution and colorless in acidic solution. So mostly all the indicators, they are indicating by using the colors. So another indicator which we use along with the litmus paper in the lab, that is phenolphthalein indicator. So it shows pink color in alkali solution and colorless in acidic solution. Here you can see this is our litmus paper. Acid turns blue litmus to red and an alkali turns red litmus to blue, and this is our phenolphthalein indicator which is also used in the lab. It shows pink color in alkali solution and remains colorless in acidic solution. So now we will see the properties of acids. I had told you acids are sour to taste, acids are soluble in water, acid turn blue litmus red. Now we got another properties of acids, that is acid turns blue litmus to red. Acidic solutions are good conductors of electricity. Then again in the previous class we had already discussed that acids are corrosive in nature. They react with paper, cloth, metals. They can react. So they are stored in glass containers. You might have seen in the lab and all, acids are always stored in the glass containers because they can react with paper, cloth and any other metal cans. If it is used, then they can react with the metals. So these are the basic properties of the acids. These are the basic properties, like they are soluble in water, they turn blue litmus red, they are good conductors of electricity, corrosive in nature. Next, acid reacts with metal carbonates and metals. So metals and metal carbonates, acids react with them. Dilute acids, mostly dilute acids react with the metal carbonates to produce carbon dioxide gas and salt. So when dilute acids react with the metal carbonates, they produce carbon dioxide gas and the salt. So when acid reacts with metal carbonates, it produces carbon dioxide gas along with the salt. For example, if you will take sodium carbonate, which is Na2CO3. Na2CO3, it reacts with hydrochloric acid, that is HCl, dilute hydrochloric acid, HCl. It gives sodium chloride, it is a salt. Sodium chloride is a salt, NaCl, or we can balance it to NaCl. Then along with this salt, it gives carbon dioxide plus water. So we can say that when acids, that is dilute hydrochloric acid, react with the metal carbonate, for example sodium carbonate, it gives salt, that is sodium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. Another example you can take is calcium carbonate with sulfuric acid. So here calcium carbonate CaCO3 plus sulfuric acid, we can write H2SO4. It gives salt which is calcium sulfate CaSO4. Calcium sulfate, from here calcium and here sulfate, from H2SO4. So it is calcium sulfate along with the carbon dioxide gas and water. So this is also another example. So basically we can say that when acid reacts with metal carbonate, it gives or it produces salt, carbon dioxide and water. So next, if we will see acids react with metals, then here also mostly dilute acids, they react with metals to produce salt and hydrogen gas. So here dilute acids react with metals to produce salt and hydrogen gas. For example, we will take the metal as sodium. So our metal is sodium plus hydrochloric acid, that is HCl. It will give us, it will produce sodium chloride NaCl along with the hydrogen gas. So here when dilute acids react with the metal, for example sodium, it produces salt, that is sodium chloride, it is a salt along with the hydrogen gas. For example, another example we can take as magnesium. Magnesium plus sulfuric acid. When magnesium reacts with sulfuric acid, it gives magnesium sulfate. Magnesium, that is Mg, plus it reacts with the dilute sulfuric acid H2SO4, it gives MgSO4, magnesium sulfate plus hydrogen gas. So we can say that when acid reacts with the metals, it produces salt along with the hydrogen gas. So mostly metals react with dilute acids, so their reactivities varies. Different metals, they react differently. Like sodium, potassium, they react very vigorously, they are very reactive, they react very vigorously. Then copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum, they do not react at all, they do not react with acids at all. So due to this variation in reactivities, different metals react differently. Some react very fast, some react moderately, and some do not react with the acids. So the metals which do not react with the acids, these are copper, mercury, silver, gold and platinum, and these are known as noble metals. Because of their less reactivity, these are noble metals. So which are the noble metals? Copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum. They do not react with the acids. This is all about the properties of acids and how acids reacts with others. So in the next class we will discuss how acid and base react with each other, how they react with each other. So till then you practice all these reactions and learn them.